we're going to now address an elephant in the LCK room, as it were. Right, Yamato, let me just ask you a question first. Have you had, I don't know if you're in our circle yet. If you aren't, get ready. You're about to join the inner circle. Have you ever had loads of the T1 stands flame you and say you're a fucking dick eater and you love the LPL or you hate Faker or you're a piece of shit? Do they flame you if you critique Faker? Do you get that much?
Well, they flame me for hanging out with you. They flame me for hanging out with Dom. Like that's the one that I get. Like mostly the commentary like that people attack me for, so to speak, is commentary that sometimes Dom has done. But right. I'm fairly critical of Faker, and I think that like when he performs bad and I praise him the right way, because I care about, like the same way you do. It's like I care about how history is perceived and how everything was reached. It's like to neglect all of the details and the hardships, I think takes away from the fucking story. So I think it's important for me to say this guy's underperforming, and then his rise again is just so damn beautiful. So in that process, definitely there's moments where you get attacked, because it's sometimes you have these fans that it's like they are so deeply entrenched into the idea of being a part of the team that they feel that any form of criticism is almost a criticism towards them. And their way of like being a part of the inner circle is to just attack anyone else that doesn't love the team the same way they do. But I love fucking how T1 play. I fucking enjoy the players. I enjoy Faker's career. For me, is clearly the goal. But I'm not going to be irrational or delusional about it. And in that process, definitely, some people have come after me. There was like this period in time where all of my content was like translated into Korean. And there was, when I looked at some of those videos, it was like everything was like cut out of context in a really, really like this deceptive way almost. And that was like, ooh, that's kind of weird, bro. We live in an era of where people can create things if they want to. So that was a little bit spooky, but it was like, in my mind, if there's passion, I'm happy. If people get angry, I'm happy. It's a sign of, that delusion is a sign of life. So I have sympathy, and I understand why it's there, because I do think it's a good sign. Yeah, I can tell you this, right? There was this guy who was defending Gumayusi by saying, "Oh, this is the guy you say underperforming," and then he showed the stats from 2023 Worlds and 2024 Worlds, like that's irrelevant at all. And I did the same tweet, but I posted Messi stats from 2012. So I was like, "Oh, this is Messi. This is the guy you say is underperforming. He's no longer in Barcelona on the best. Like he's not playing with the best teams in the world. Like this is the guy you say is underperforming." And I got attacked by Ronaldo fans. That's how like so delusional. It's like Ronaldo fans came after me. They missed the point completely. So it's just like something that just appears whenever there's sizes. It's like Ronaldo fans came after me. I don't feel anything towards Messi. I don't feel anything about Barcelona. I don't give a shit about this team. I've been a Mourinho fan my whole life. It's like I love the Chelsea with the Didier Drogba and so forth. Like this era, I love the Porto and the Inter Milan that you mentioned. It's like I'm a Mourinho fan. Like I care about people and players more than teams. That's how I always been. But then Ronaldo fans attacked me, and then I realized, oh, it's just the same shit everywhere, bro. It's just whenever sizes become too big, they become irrational and crazy.
Because the reason I asked you is people have never understood this, because I understand, right? To a normal person, the fans of T1 hating on you, just like Carmine Corp fans, just like Movistar Rider Call fans, it works. What it does is it creates not a positive incentive. It's actually not a very good strategy long term. But what it does is it creates a negative disincentive. What they're basically creating is this: if you even talk about our player without praising him, we will attack you, you will feel bad, and other people might think you're a horrible person. And what they think is, because it works, they think that will make you shut up. And you know what it does? It makes Cadril shut up sometimes and apologize. It makes the broadcast apologize. It makes people who've made great analytical points go, but I don't hate them, and do all this weird framing that never was anything that they'd said. And it makes a lot of people scared. The problem they have is this: people like me and Dom, that doesn't work on us. Not only does it not work, for me, that is red rag to a bull. I live by the saying in esports, the quote, better to die on your feet than live on your knees. I will never bow to some motherfucking Stan idiot pleb fan because he thinks my opinion is evil. He thinks I've done something to him because I said his player's second best, not best. Get the fuck out of my face. I've seen every great League of Legends player and team. You haven't, and you don't even know what you're talking about. You're just a fan. You're just like a fucking half-wit watching a firework show. You're just sitting, oh, hey, oh. Someone wipes the drawer. You're just watching shit happen on the screen, and at the end, someone lifts a trophy, you go, that must be the best. So I don't mind if you hate on me. So what I'm saying is this, Yamato, if you've already had it, in England, we have an idiom, in for a penny, in for a pound. You're in then, mate. Because now we're going to criticise T1 fans, and here's why. Holy shit, are you never beating the allegations, you idiots. Not only did you rage your tits off at Zeus, who gave you 2 world championships, you also now have done the most unhinged truck scenario I have ever seen. So here's what happened. It wasn't, Yamato, that they lost that series to D+ and got humiliated and barrel run and that smile, that damn smile, and that's why they called a truck. They are calling a truck when T1 has played 2 series, won one of them 2-1 over KT, your main rival, and then just clapped out Nongshim. So far, by the way, the team's going great. A sane man's take who cares about League the game. Look, even I'm like, really? Giving up on Gumayusi like that? But the Smash guy has massive potential. I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption. I don't think Koma is an idiot, Yamato. I imagine in scrims, Gumayushi's had some issues, and then they've seen 1 or 2 games that maybe they lost, that they think he didn't quite on the right page, or he's not playing a champion right, or he's not playing the right way with Guerrier, or whatever it might be. Maybe Faker has an opinion. Who the fuck knows? I know they're not just rolling a dice and going, sorry, Gumayusi, you're out. You're going to what? You got snake eyes. So because they've brought Smash, a player they've literally developed who looked like the best player on that Challenger team, shut the fuck up, Reckless fans. Because they brought Smash in, and by the way, he looks good. He looks like actually a player. It reminds me of, are you ready? When Gumayusi came into the team. It's the same thing. And I've never thought Gumayusi was Viper or Uzi Eye or the greatest player. I've always thought he was a good player, bordering on very good when he's got to his peaks. And I've never quite seen him cap out as like the #1 player at ADC, for example. So I don't think it's egregious in Winter Split to put him in like a Nongshim series. Or if you think you're just not going to win against KT, to try him out in that series. Bro, they are doing trucks after winning series, because now these T1 fans think they get to decide the lineup or something. Like, I can't even believe this, bro. I get it after losses. I get it after, like, Zeus, that's in a way. I get the really big, obvious fan ones. This is like, you probably know this, Yamato. You know, there's been times in Italy where the ultras of teams like Inter and fucking Juve and AC Milan, the real like OG clubs with the mega ultras that go to every game with the flares. There's been times where some of their players, for real, have had videos where they've had to just stand there and the ultras tell them all off and tell them, hey, what are you doing? Like, we cheer for you. We come every week. Like, you need to play better. You need to play your heart in the game. That's one thing, because those are teams that were suffering. Those are great franchises that aren't where they should be. And these guys are losers, so they give their whole fucking life to support an AC Milan or something, right? I just like to watch the games and think it's cool or good or bad. Like, I don't go fucking harass someone. But these T1 fans now, it's like, you've gone too far. The power's gone to your head, because what is this truck? Why are we bringing trucks? Because you took Gumayusi out the lineup. We're not allowed. By the way, you are aware your coach is Koma. The guy who benched Faker in that final I said before. The guy who used to take fucking Bengi and bring him in for Peanut, who was the better jungler, because he had to like clutch the series. Then after that, did the same thing with Blank and had Blank in the lineup, and then would replace fucking whoever it was they had after that. They had someone else, and then Blank would come in and replace him. I can't remember. That may be Peanut again. It was Blank and Bengi first, then it was Peanut and Blank. That was it. This is the ultimate guy for swapping people in and out. His whole shit is like, you test out 2 lineups, you have one for one thing, and then you go to the other. I don't get this, mate. I'm genuinely puzzled about why they're sending the trucks now. I don't know what they're not even doing badly. It's not even a problem. I don't get it. If anything, doesn't D+ look even better now? What are we doing? What is this about? Give me some thoughts. Where are we going on this, mate?
I just wanted to touch on the first part as well, because I realized something in terms of how I interact with fans. There was a moment where after I was benched from KC, I was doing like the live viewing together with Dom, and we were watching KC matches together, and there was a part of the fan base that had a very visceral reaction. It's like, how can you be with Dom? He's ruining who you are as a person. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, sometimes I think like the main thing for me was just, I drew the line where it's like, you don't want to appease to people that only are watching you if you are doing exactly what they want you to. And I can say there are still a lot of KC fans from those days that like me for me. And those are the people that I want to, those are the people that I appreciate. And I think that those are the fan bases you want to build. It's like my stream is slowly building, my Discord is slowly building and so forth. And I feel like I'm building it the right way, because I'm not trying to take like cheap wins anywhere, you know. And I think this is the only way to do it, because at that moment in time, it was like I was kind of, you know, frightened by that visceral reaction. But in the end, it's like, who do you want to appease to? Because who is going to, you know, push for you? Only those who see your genuine self. Back on the T1 topic, I think if there's anything, right, I think that the reaction is definitely completely irrational, way too far, and completely like unnecessary. But I think from T1 standpoint, if you're managing this from like a PR perspective, I do think that they could have eased in everybody into it a little bit better, right? There was just this mystery around it, and you know, it was very, very strange. I think for a lot of people that are watching T1, I think there's a lot of Gumayusi specific fans that just want to know what's up, because like there was a lot of speculation going on. It's like, he's sick, he's in the hospital. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I have no idea what's happening. And I do think that the communication could have been a little bit better. But in that moment, right, that's just from a PR standpoint. In that moment for us, it's like we are rational people, so we're going to look at it. It's like, okay, we don't know why. Let's see what it is. I don't know if Gumayusi is sick or they want to try something. Then I saw Gumayusi in the arena, and then Joe Marsh said we're going to, like, Koma is going to clarify after the match. From a competitive standpoint, that makes sense, right? It's like you want to hold your cards close to your chest and then see. You don't want to reveal to the opponent who's playing. I understand from that side. And then Koma's rationale behind the decision makes a lot of sense. It's like the whole idea is that the conversation about who is going to take up Faker mantle post Faker's time when he's going to retire eventually. It's like the conversation is that Gumayusi is going to be that guy for T1. Shouldn't he be put through the same tests that Faker was put through? Same way you mentioned, you know, it's like he always was challenged. He always was pressured. It's like SKT, it's like the T1 is the most high pressure environment, and the way it's delivered to the fans is in a nice packaging, and everything seems like, you know, flowers and everything is good. But the fact that this roster stayed together through all of the challenges and all the tough parts that they did for 3 years, I think as a competitor, you know how difficult it can be to run things back, you know, because you carry a lot of baggage, you carry like so much pain, and you carry so much challenge, and that's so tough to overcome time and time again. And I think in terms of how the inner workings are, it's like, I know that the T1 players, especially like a player like Faker, we had that moment that, you know, he expressed his stress post that game where he didn't play so good. Like, that was such a raw moment, but it just showed, bro, he doesn't fucking want to lose. You know, this is a high pressure environment. Maybe this is a thing that is the best thing possible for Gumayusi, because, you know, looking at the solo queue, he did jump in and start playing fucking spamming Ezreal and Kai'Sa. So, you know, maybe it's the wake-up call that will elevate him to a new level of greatness. And on the topic of Smash, like, this guy's fucking playing good. Like, he's playing his ass off. He's playing super, super good, super talented player. Loved his Ezreal game. I think that his, you know, Kai'Sa game was also phenomenal. Played a fantastic Caitlyn game. Like, he just seemed to slot in right away. And I think from SKT's, like T1's perspective, from where they were at, I think it makes perfect sense. Gumayusi wasn't performing so well in the first initial matches, but I can see the point where, from a PR strategy point of view, they probably could have executed better, you know, because I think they could have lessened the pain of the current storm from like a business perspective.
Because the silliest thing is, I actually don't see any problem at all with T1. In fact, to me, the Smash guy adds an extra dimension to this team that I wasn't aware we could even have. Like, maybe he turns out to actually be the hard carry ADC, and we do a swap in and out, and Guma comes in for some of the more nuanced ones, or where you want to play for a carrier pick or something. And maybe that's what we do. That's, by the way, I did say, I thought with Thorin, they were missing an extra gear they used to have with Zeus. So here's the thing. It's not them that should be worried. Gen G's the one where it's like, what? See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.